made you stop and ask, wait, how is this even possible? Most fruits taste sweet, sour, or sometimes bitter. Most fruits look normal. Most fruits follow the rules of nature. But this one fruit refuses to follow any rules. It does something so strange, so impossibly that scientists still shake their heads and say, we do not fully understand this. And that is where our story begins. Think about this for a moment. Nature is full of surprises. We have glowing mushrooms, electric ales, and plants that snap shut like traps. But a fruit, a simple fruit you can pick from a tree. A fruit with a superpower that changes how your body reacts to taste. That sounds like something out of a science fiction movie.
Yet this fruit is real.
People eat it every day in some parts of the world, and if you ate it right now, your tongue would experience something your brain would refuse to believe. What makes this fruit so strange? Why can it do something no other fruit on earth can do? And why, even after years of testing, long studies, and many scientific papers, do experts still argue about how its power actually works? These questions have confused researchers for decades, and the deeper they dig, the stranger the mystery grows. Before we dive into the full story, I want you to imagine something. Imagine biting into a lemon.
You expect it to be sharp and sour, right? Your face curls. Your eyes squint. Your mouth reacts fast. That is normal. That is how things should be.
Now imagine biting into that same lemon. And it tastes sweet. Not a little sweet. Not mixed sweet. But sweet like sugar. Sweet like candy. Sweet like a dessert. And here's the wild part. You did not add anything to it. No sugar. No honey. Nothing. The fruit itself did not change. But you changed. Or more accurately, your taste changed. Your senses changed. Your whole experience of flavor changed. That is the superpower of this mysterious fruit. It can flip your sense of taste. It can confuse your brain. It can turn one flavor into another. It can almost rewrite what you think your tongue knows. That is not normal. That is not easy to explain. And that is why scientists are still searching for answers. But this fruit did not become famous just because of its strange effect. It became a global mystery because the effect is so sudden, so powerful,
and so precise that it does not match what we know about taste biology. We know about sweet receptors, sour receptors, and bitter receptors. We know how flavor works. We know how nerves send signals to the brain. Yet this fruit bends those rules like they are nothing. It does something no lab can fully map.
And every time someone tests it, it raises a new question. Some people call it a miracle. Some call it a trick of nature.
Some even call it a mistake in evolution, but no matter what people call it, almost everyone who tries it shares the same reaction: disbelief.
They taste something they should not taste. They feel something their tongue should not feel. And the effect is so strong that even scientists say the fruit's behavior does not fully match scientific logic. So, how did this fruit get discovered?
Why did it confuse early explorers?
Why did local tribes treat it like something magical? Why did old cultures use it in special events? And how did it become one of the most researched, debated, and argued about fruits in the world? We will explore all of that. But before we go deep, here is something for you.
If you stay until the end of this video, you will learn one secret fact about this fruit that most people have never heard. Even many scientists miss it.
This fact will change the way you think about food, nature, and maybe even your own senses. Think of it as your reward for watching till the end. For now, let's set the stage. Imagine a fruit so small you might ignore it. A fruit that does not look powerful at all. A fruit that seems simple and harmless. But inside this little fruit lives a strange force that has puzzled experts around the world. People have tested it in labs, in kitchens, in taste experiments, and even in medical studies.
They found clues, patterns, and theories, but not a single complete answer.
Not one researcher can say, yes, we understand this fully. That alone makes the fruit rare.
Most foods are easy to explain. Most fruits are simple.
But this one behaves like a glitch in the natural system.
It twists the taste pathway.
It changes signals in a way our brains do not expect. It acts fast. It acts with precision. And it acts in ways that do not match the usual rules.
The story gets even stranger. Some early scientists thought the fruit was dangerous because they could not understand it. Others thought it was magical.
Some believed it could help people with medical problems.
Some believed it could change the future of food. The more they studied it, the more questions appeared.
And even today, the mystery continues. So right now, you are standing at the start of a strange journey. A journey into a fruit that seems normal but acts supernatural. A fruit that can flip reality inside your mouth. A fruit that has created arguments, confusion, and excitement for years. And a fruit that still holds secrets science cannot unlock.
Now, let's move forward. If you are ready, we will uncover the identity of this strange fruit. We will reveal where it grows.
We will explore how it works. And we will see why scientists still cannot explain its unbelievable power. Before we reveal the strange power of this fruit, we need to talk about the fruit itself. Because when you first see it, you will feel confused. It does not look magical.
It does not look rare.
It does not look like something that can shock scientists. In fact, most people say the same thing when they see it for the first time. That the fruit is called the miracle berry.
Its real scientific name is Syncephalum dulcificum, but most people do not use that name.
They simply call it the miracle fruit because what it does feels like a miracle.
But when you look at it, you might not believe it. It is small. It is red. It is shaped like a tiny oval.
It looks like a berry you could pick from a bush on a quiet morning. No glow, no strange patterns, nothing that warns you that this tiny fruit will change how your body feels flavor. The miracle berry grows mainly in West Africa. For hundreds of years, it grew quietly in wild forests and small farms. The people who lived there knew about it, but the rest of the world did not.
The berry needs warm weather, rich soil, and lots of rain. It does not grow well in cold places.
It does not survive frost. That is one reason people in the USA, UK, and Canada rarely see it in stores. It is simply too delicate.
The plant does not travel well. The fruit spoils fast.
So most people never taste it in their daily lives.
But for the people in the villages of West Africa, this fruit has been part of life for a long time.
They used it before meals. They used it in gatherings. They used it to make sour foods taste sweet. For them, the fruit was not a mystery. It was part of their culture. They knew what it did. They accepted it. They enjoyed it.
But they did not know why it worked. They did not need to. They simply enjoyed the effect. Now imagine early travelers arriving in these regions centuries ago.
Explorers from different continents walked through forests and saw this strange berry.
Local people encouraged them to try it. The travelers took a bite. Nothing special.
He tasted mild, not too sweet, not too sour, just a simple berry.
But then someone handed them a sour fruit, maybe a lemon or something similar.
The traveler bit into it and froze. Their eyes widened. Their mouth relaxed. They tasted sweetness instead of sourness.
It was so unexpected that many thought it was magic or a trick.
Some early explorers wrote about this.
They did not understand what happened. They had never seen a fruit that could change another fruit's flavor. They had never felt their taste buds behave differently. They thought it was some kind of spell. Of course, it was not magic, but it certainly felt like it. This single experience shocked them so much that they carried stories back to Europe and beyond. These stories spread slowly, confusing people everywhere. A fruit that makes sour food sweet. That made no sense. No one believed it at first. They thought it was just another traveler's tale.
In modern times, the miracle berry became famous again when scientists and food researchers started hearing rumors. They read old notes. They found old reports.
They heard people repeating the same strange story. This fruit changes how your tongue tastes sour things. Scientists felt curious. They wanted to know how.
They wanted to test it. They wanted to explain it. But when they began studying it, they found something surprising. The fruit refused to fit neatly into scientific rules. Before we talk about why scientists are confused, let's understand its basic nature. The berry grows on a small evergreen shrub. The plant has green leaves all year. It produces berries several times a year, but each berry is tiny. If you tried one today, you would notice that the berry itself does not taste very strong. It is not powerful like a strawberry or blueberry.
It does not burst with flavor.
It tastes light and simple.
The magic is not in the flavor of the berry itself. The magic happens after the berry touches your tongue. Inside the miracle berry, there is a natural chemical compound.
We will talk about this later in detail. But here is what you need to know right now. This compound interacts with your taste receptors in a way no other fruit does.
Scientists identified the compound, studied it, and even named it.
But even after doing all that, they still cannot fully explain how the effect works with such precision and strength. Another interesting thing, the effect does not last forever. Usually, it lasts between 20 minutes and 1 hour. After that, your taste returns to normal. But the temporary effect is enough to confuse the brain, enough to make scientists scratch their heads, enough to make the miracle berry stand out in the entire world of fruits.
People sometimes wonder if this fruit is so unique.
Why do we not see it everywhere? Why is it not sold in big stores? Why is it not common in Western countries? There are a few reasons. The berry is delicate. It spoils quickly. It loses its power if stored too long. It needs special conditions to stay fresh. And because it grows naturally in a limited area, it has always been rare outside Africa. Today, some farms grow it in greenhouses, but it is still not common enough to become a regular part of supermarkets in the USA, UK, or Canada. But rarity is not the only reason.
For many years, food companies and researchers tried to study the fruit more deeply. They wanted to understand how it works.
They wanted to see if it could be used as a sweetener.
They wanted to test its effects in medicine. But every time they tested it, the results raised new questions.
The fruit was consistent in what it did, but the reason behind its behavior was not. And that is the center of the mystery. You might think that with modern science, anything about food should be easy to explain. But not this fruit. This fruit bends taste in a way that goes beyond simple chemistry. And that is why many people today still call it the fruit scientists cannot explain. Now that you understand what the miracle berry is, where it comes from, and why it is so famous, we can move to the real heart of the mystery, the superpower itself. What exactly does the fruit do inside your mouth? How does it flip flavors? How does it trick your brain? And why is the effect so strong?
Now that you know what the miracle berry looks like and where it grows, it is time to talk about its strange ability, the superpower that has shocked scientists for decades. This superpower is simple to describe, but extremely hard to explain. When you eat the miracle berry, your sense of taste changes in a dramatic way. Sour foods become sweet. Bitter foods become mild. Lemons taste like lemonade. Vinegar tastes like apple juice. Even sharp acidic foods taste soft, sweet, and pleasant. Nothing else in the natural world does this with such strength. That is why researchers still call it one of the biggest mysteries in food science. To understand how strange this is, imagine you take a slice of lemon. Normally, your mouth reacts fast, your face tightens, your tongue wakes up. But after you eat one miracle berry, that same lemon tastes like candy. You can bite into it without flinching. You can chew it like an orange. You may even enjoy it. People who try this for the first time smile, laugh, or stare in shock. Their brain tells them the lemon must be sour, but their tongue says, no, this is sweet. That gap between what the brain expects and what the tongue feels is exactly what confuses scientists. The berry does not add sugar. It does not change the lemon. It does not remove the sourness. Instead, it changes you. For a short time, your taste receptors behave differently. They react to sour foods as if they were sweet. It is like your tongue is wearing a filter. This filter blocks sour signals and turns them into sweet signals. And here is where the mystery begins. No other fruit has this ability. No other food changes how your taste receptors send messages to the brain in such a powerful and precise way. Scientists know the name of the compound responsible for this effect. It is called maraclin. The name sounds like miracle, which makes sense because the effect feels magical. But knowing the name does not mean knowing the whole story. Maraclin acts in a way that breaks the usual rules of taste science. It attaches to your taste buds. It waits. It sits quietly. It does not taste sweet on its own, but when something sour touches your tongue, maraclin wakes up. It changes shape. It activates your sweet receptors. And suddenly your brain receives a message that is not true. It thinks the food is sweet when it is not. This reaction is so unusual that even experienced scientists were confused at first. But when they tested maraclin in labs, they found that it behaves differently under different conditions. It does not act like sugar. It does not act like artificial sweeteners. It does not even act like other natural taste modifiers. It works only when the environment in your mouth becomes acidic, like when you bite into something sour. That is why the effect only happens after the berry is eaten, and that is why the effect stops once the berry's influence fades. One of the strangest parts is how fast the berry works. As soon as you chew it and move it across your tongue, the effect begins. The compound binds to your taste buds almost instantly. Within seconds, your sense of taste changes. No other fruit has such a rapid, targeted effect. Scientists have studied many plants that affect the tongue: spicy peppers, cooling mint, tingling herbs, but none of them flip taste like this. Those plants stimulate or numb the tongue. The miracle berry reprograms the tongue. That is a major difference. Another interesting thing is how long the effect lasts. For some people, it lasts 15 minutes. For others, close to 1 hour. The length depends on the person, how much berry they ate, and what foods they try afterward. But no matter how long it lasts, the effect always ends. The berry never causes permanent changes. As soon as miraculin washes away or breaks down, your taste returns to normal. This temporary but powerful effect is one of the reasons scientists struggle to categorize it clearly. Now, let's talk about the reactions people have had around the world. When researchers invited volunteers to try the berry, the results were always the same. People laughed. People shook their heads. People kept checking the food to make sure it was real. Some even took more bites just to confirm what they were tasting. One person described the experience like this: "It feels like my tongue is lying to me." Another said, "It tastes sweet, but my brain knows this should not be sweet." That mental conflict is at the center of the mystery. The effect is not just limited to lemons. People have tried vinegar, grapefruit, lime, raspberries, sour candies, and even strong foods like pickles. After eating the berry, everything tastes gentler and sweeter. Sour foods become enjoyable. Bitter foods taste soft. Even yogurt with no sugar tastes like sweet dessert. This wide range of changes makes the miracle berry even more unusual. If it only affected a few foods, maybe it would be easy to explain, but it affects so many different flavors that scientists realized something deeper was happening. Here is another strange part. The berry does not change how sweet foods taste. If you eat a cookie after eating the miracle berry, it still tastes like a cookie. It does not taste extra sweet. It does not taste like candy. The berry only changes sourness. It does not touch natural sweetness. It does not affect salty flavors. It does not do much to spicy foods. It only flips sour to sweet. That level of selectiveness makes the mystery even harder to explain. Imagine a switch inside your tongue, a switch that turns on only when you eat something sour, a switch that turns sweetness on in a place where sweetness does not exist. That is how miraculin behaves. But no other natural compound works like this. No other fruit has a smart switch effect. This is why scientists cannot fully describe its behavior using normal taste science. Some researchers tried to understand the effect by studying how the berry evolved. Maybe the plant developed this ability to protect its seeds. Maybe it helped early humans eat sour foods during certain seasons. Maybe it was just an accident of evolution. But none of these theories explain why the compound is so precise, so strong, and so unique. Every experiment brings more questions. Why does Miraclin act only when your mouth becomes acidic? Why does it activate sweet receptors instead of blocking sour ones? Why does it attach to the tongue so perfectly? Why is the effect temporary yet powerful? And why does no other fruit have anything even close to this ability? In simple words, the miracle berry works. Scientists can observe the effect. People can feel it. But the full explanation, the complete why, is still missing. This is what makes the fruit so fascinating. A fruit that looks normal but behaves supernatural. A fruit that changes your senses without warning. A fruit that forces scientists to rethink how taste truly works.